What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we finally get to play a game that I've been waiting a really long time for. One of the side effects of having like 600 things on my wish list, and then I've got them all like sorted by the things that I'm the most excited about, and this one was pretty high on the list. A little roguelike called He Is Coming. We featured the first demo of this about the day that it came out a couple of years ago, and this is a title where you are the last warrior standing up to the final push of a dark overlord who's going to shortly arrive, and it's a game about building up synergies. It's a game about collecting items and equipment that all kind of bounce off of each other so that your turn just becomes like this massive explosion of bad things happening to the enemy, but they will also have their own tricks that they're trying to lead you down. And so today we're going to take a look at the game. We're going to do some first impressions. I think I can already safely say that I think this is actually a really innovative, really sleek, really enjoyable roguelike that manages to dress itself in old school fare while at the same time taking everything modern and condensing it down into its most basic form. And I think that's what makes He Is Coming special. So today we're going to take a look at it. You can find the game down below in the description. You can also find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links down there. But let's play some He Is Coming. What is Kingmaker? That wasn't there before. Well, apparently I can get different skins for my warrior when I do different achievements and I get currency. Okay, well, let's go to the woodlands and let's give this thing a go. So this is one of those games that, while being somewhat complex in terms of what the player has to do in order to win, this is a game that's very easy and simple on the face of it to explain to anyone that wants to play it. It's very board game-like in that respect. So in He Is Coming, you really only have like 4 attributes that you need to pay attention to, maybe 5 if you count gold and very specialized builds. But you've got your HP, you've got your attack, you've got your armor, and you've got your speed. All of this stuff is very simple in the way that it functions. HP goes down to 0, you lose the game. Attack, that's how hard you hit the enemy when you strike back at them inside of this game's auto battles. Armor, that absorbs damage before it gets to your health, and speed determines who attacks first in every single round. However, all of these stats are looped into other things, like these cubes down here that you're seeing at the bottom of the screen. These are equipment slots. These are places where you're going to get helmets and armor and jewelry and food and weapons and kind of accessories like potions, bombs, all that kind of stuff. And they will all do things when you go into combat that either reference your stats, benefit from your stats, bounce off your stats, and create a link to other items to make stuff happen. Very fascinating stuff, even though the game is so simple. At the top of the screen, you can see a timeline. When this timeline hits the end, every single time we take a step in the game world to go look at a point of interest or fight a mob, this is going to go up, and when it gets up to the final part, we've got to fight this boss right here, the Brittle Bark Beast, who has 50 HP, 3 attack, and then 2 speed, and whenever he takes damage, he takes 3 additional damage. And there are a lot of bosses in this game. I did like 4 or 5 runs prior to recording this video just to refresh my memory from when the demo was out, and I have only hit the same boss like once during that time. They kind of level up, they move around, and the goal of the map, I think, is to beat 3 bosses, and then it unlocks the next map, which has its own set of items, its own set of bosses, a very expandable game that the developer is dedicating to. And so basically when you get to the second level, from what I can tell from what's implied inside the UI, you get to play the same game but with completely different items, completely different enemies, and a completely different setting, which is going to be very remarkably fresh. First thing we want to do is hit some treasure chests. We don't have any equipment, so we can get an Ironstone Greatsword here. It'll increase our damage up to 4. We're at 1 right now because all we have is a branch that we got off of a tree, but it will nerf our speed by 2. We could also get the Redwood Cloak. If your health is not full at the start of the battle, restore 2 health, and it gives us 2 HP to our total. Or we can get a Leather Glove, which gives us 3 more HP and 1 speed. I'll probably take the Leather Glove for right now because you kind of need to build around, there's a chest right there. All right, let's fight this wolf. So when you go into combat in this game, I'm going to pause it up real fast so that you know what's happening. The rings around these characters' feet are just letting you know whose turn it is to attack. And then we're just going to auto battle. That's the entire thing. So he's going to strike me. I'm going to strike him. He's going to strike me, so on and so forth, because we have matched speed for right now. But if I was faster, I'd be attacking first. And you kind of want to plan your strategy around like whether you're the type of character that attacks first or attacks last. Another treasure chest over here. We can get a Frostbite Trap. It gives the enemy 3 freeze. That cuts their damage in half. I think, for as long as it's out there. We've also got the cherry bomb. The cherry bomb deals 1 damage 2 times at the start of battle. We've also got the cracked whetstone, which gives us +2 attack on our first turn. These are basically the same thing, except this one scales better because bomb builds are an entire thing in this game. So you have all kinds of supplementary items that buff up bombs and make them more effective. We kind of want to track down easy enemies to murder here and easy chests. The redwood rod, yeah, that's an easy upgrade, 4 HP, and it gets us up to 2 attacks. So I'll go ahead and take it. Another one over here. We could get the razor thorn spear, which gives us thorns. That might be an interesting play to make. Let's go with the whetstone for right now, because that virtually guarantees on the first turn we're going to like one-shot whatever tries to hit us. And so here's our first wolf. We're going to hit him with bombs, and then we're going to strike him in the face for 4 damage, and the fight is over. Whenever you win a fight on the road, you get 1 gold. Gold can be used at merchants. It can be used for item builds and things that make you stronger. So like a couple builds ago, I had a build where I had a weapon that drew its damage from my gold amount, but then limited the amount that I could have in gold, so that there were certain items on vendors that I just could not buy. Over here, we've got a jewelry box, so we can get 1 armor every other turn. We can get the emerald crown. That's going to nerf our attack, but give us 8 more HP. Or, at the start of the battle, we can steal 2 armor from an enemy. I'll probably just take the sapphire earring for right now. It's not that good, but it might be helpful. We do need to rest and heal. Luckily, there's campfires on the map that will allow us to do that. And so there we go. Smack him up real quick, and that's given us another victory. I wanted to see if I got there on the app. You can only rest at a campfire at night. And so you kind of want to get there when you have 1 pip till daybreak so that you're not wasting time. We cut it so close, dude. So close. There's also item combination in this game, and as you might have judged from the UI, these are not going to be all the items that we ever get. Every single time we defeat a boss, we get 2 more item slots, which further increase the amount of synergies that we get to play with. If you're full up, what you can do is, featherweight blade's nice. I'm gonna take featherweight blade because that gives me a little bit more speed, and it allows me to give the enemy the smack'ems first. I'm gonna clear this wolf out real rapidly, bombs out, and stab to death. There we go, all good to go. And then I'm kind of going to try to refine a build out here if I can. On hit, get 1 health back. Battle start, I get 2 freeze, but I also start out with 8 armor. We can also get the saffron feather, which converts a speed in order to restore a health. Yeah, I'll probably do that right there. You've discovered an item set. When you gather all the components of an item set, you get a bonus effect. Oh yeah, did I mention that there's item sets in this game? So if you get a number of things that are related to each other, and I don't know if it like tells you where those sets are at, but either way, you get a bonus right here. So on hit, we gain 1 speed. So we're just going to keep getting faster and faster and faster, which means that we kind of want to get something that benefits from that speed, or maybe like drains that speed in order to give us an additive bonus. Kind of hard to say. We've got a crow over here. He should die instantly. Yep, there you go. He steals gold from me when he hits me. That's kind of cruel and vicious. And what do we have over here? Loose change, 3 gold at the start of every single day. We can get a leather vest, or we can get ourselves the brittle bark bow. I do like the idea of having the leather vest instead of the leather glove, I think, but it's kind of hard to say. I don't know what I would rather take right there, but either way, we've got a little bit of armor. Armor comes back after every single fight, so don't worry about losing it. We've got a ruby crown over here, a sapphire ring, or an emerald ring. I may need to heal myself before too long. I do wish that there was storage boxes in this game where when you have an item, you could keep them in a little storage space, because item combining becomes a thing later on in the game too, where if you have like multiple similars of the same item, you can combine them into a higher class Diablo style. There's gold items, which are 2 items combined together, and then there's another one on top of that, which is 2 gold items combined together. But I've never managed to get the latter actually put together. I'm just going to leave that there for right now. It sucks that we wasted it, but it shouldn't really matter, I don't think. Kill this guy off. There we go. I don't think we're actually put together in such a way that we're going to be able to take this guy down. We're going to need some kind of multi-strike or something. I definitely think that's going to be necessary. Heart Drinker, double-plated armor, and the shield of the hero. None of that's crazy helpful for right now. There's a merchant over here, though. I might be able to fish something out of his inventory. So I recycled the merchant a couple times. to see if I could find something that was going to make us a little bit more resilient. We do have a Swift Strike Cloak. That'll make it so that if we're faster than the enemy, we get an additional hit. So we'll double tap, basically. Or we could get the Firecracker Belt. The Firecracker Belt will make it so that we deal 1 damage 4 times, and if we can track down another item, there are items that increase the amount of damage that bombs do, so we could potentially be doing like 20 damage at the opening of the fight. I'm going to take that because of the specific boss that we're going up against. I feel like it'll be useful because this guy takes 3 additional damage whenever he takes damage, and that's 6 attacks right there, so that's 18 right at the beginning of the fight. And so that'll drop him down to 32 because I don't think that we have the oomph to actually beat him. We need to find some weapon oils and things. So if I can find weapon oils, I think that'd be a good place to start too. I don't want to fight any of them right now because they've got thorns on their little build. And it can be kind of like a headache to deal with the reflective damage. All right, that's down. Do these go in? Oh, it's when I'm exposed. So it's when they break my armor, I throw that out there. So we actually kind of want to juggle that. Yeah, where's a weapon oil at, dude? I don't know if I can get to it in time because the boss is almost here, but I'm going to try. A weapon oil to bump us up to like 3 damage, I think would be like the optimal place to be. And so 3 damage would be good because that means we're hitting him for 6 every time we smack him. I do not know if we're going to make it, though. I would like to make it, but it's going to come down to the last step, I think. We got a little bit of a nail biter here to figure out whether or not we're going to get the weapon oil. We did not get the weapon oil in time. Okay, so this guy's pretty simple. He's just a massive tank that doesn't hit that hard, but he takes a lot of extra additional damage. So the bombs went out. He just took a bunch of damage from my bombs, so that's good. Multi-strike would have probably helped here. Okay, 3 damage taken, but that exposed us, so he's taking 4 damage from our bomb belt, and then 12 more damage, but unfortunately we now no longer have, like, a major shtick to fall back on. We are hitting for 5 damage a turn, though, so I don't know if we're going to walk this one off. We did get a little bit of healing right there from the conversion of our Saffron Feather, so that's good. That may actually hold us in here for 1 more turn in order to clinch the kill. Yeah, it did actually. So the Saffron Feather ended up being actually a pretty major pickup for me right there. Every single time you beat a boss, this game has loads and loads and loads and loads of achievements. The bosses are all achievements. However, every time you do an achievement, it adds another item to the game. Usually that surrounds like whatever the gimmick of the boss was or whatever the gimmick of the achievement was. So for example, I got an achievement on my last run. I got like 4 or 5 on my last run where I was running a thorns build. So I unlocked a ton more items that focus on thorns. Let's go with attack oil for right now. You can put 3 oils on your weapon, but you can't do duplicates. And so having a little bit of extra damage right there would be good. You can also hone your weapon to get an edge on it. The edges can do various things. I mean, they can make it so that you get armor when you smack the enemy. They can make it so you get all kinds of little bonuses and things. He knocked out my armor, but then the bomb belt got him, so that's good. This right here is a waypoint. I think it allows you to fast travel around the map to any other waypoint that you found when you go into map mode. I don't know if it'll let me go like to just any point of interest, but it should allow you to get around a little bit quicker, I think. We also have a merchant over here, but we're a little bit broke. An explosive sword. Whenever a bomb deals 5 or more non-weapon damage, gain 1 additional strike. Lifeblood burst. Whenever you restore 3 or more health, deal 3 damage. Okay, the fortified gauntlet. We've also got a black briar braid. Let's restock the shop just to see what happens here. The plated greaves kind of play along with what we're doing right now. So when I get exposed, that is to say when my armor gets broken, it will convert 3 of my speed into 9 armor. It's not perfect, but we could also go with iron shrapnel, which deals 3 damage at the start of the battle, which would get us up to 5 damage at the start of the battle. Let's try that out. We'll give that a go and kind of see how that all works. I don't know if I want to go north or south here. I guess we'll just go this way. All the enemies on the map, they level up whenever you kill a boss, so keep that in mind too. We've got a crystal ball over here. I can find a golem, I can find a blacksmith, or I can find a merchant. Let's find a blacksmith. Oh no, dude, we're gonna have to double back pretty hard to get to him. That's unfortunate, but I do need to get some more cash, so we'll try to kind of go in a direction that we haven't been in already. There we go, good stuff. I'm not even fighting at this point, just all of my auras and all my random items that I have are wiping out enemies for me right at the outset of the fight. Oh, the golem was down here too. So the golem is the NPC that allows you to take two similar items and combine them into the higher quality. And if you don't use him, he stays there, so we can come back for him later. The cauldron does the exact same thing except for food. And so I'm not really running a food build right now, but I would very much like to grab this blacksmith real quick and see if I can make my weapon hit a little bit harder. Before we get any further on into this mayhem, the bear actually survived that first round. We can get one additional strike on our first turn. That might help. Or we can freeze the enemy to make him deal half damage. Give me a double attack on my first turn. That sounds all right. We got a treasure chest over here, too. We've got an empty item slot. So we can get loose change. That gives us gold at the beginning of every fight. We can get the redwood roast. That just gives us a straight-up HP buff. We can get a boom stick. On hit, we deal 1 damage. So basically, it's like a bomb on a stick, basically. For now, give me loose change, because I need money anyways. Another golem. God, if I had any duplicates, we'd be in good shape right now. Don't have any duplicates, though, dude. Don't have any duplicates. He's dead. Let's carry on upwards. We've got another oil up here. Armor oil or speed oil? I guess I'll go with armor, although 3 armor is nothing to write home about or get excited about. Most enemies that we're going to be going up against very shortly are going to shred that in 1 turn. We could replace our edge if we wanted to. On hit, restore a health. Might save us. Don't want to fight the hedgehog, but... Oh, never mind. I guess I can fight the hedgehogs. I figured my bombs, these guys have thorns, and so I figured their thorns would reflect off of my bomb damage and ultimately, like, wear me down and kill me. But I guess not. Reveal a place of interest. Is there a merchant around here? There's one up there. Let's go see what we can fish out and maybe feed to the golem. Good stuff. Easy fight. Nothing to worry about. We got another chest down there, too, that'll give us another chance. I'm going to kill this guy for extra money real quick before we go over there because I don't know how many times I'm going to end up refreshing his inventory. All right, so we have the kindling bomb. Deal 1 damage to the enemy. The damage of the next bomb that triggers is increased by 3. Okay. Yeah, so I do want that for sure. So let's take that, and we're going to swap it out for loose change. And then we're going to move this over to here so that you can rearrange stuff inside your backpack because things run iteratively based on the number up here. So this plays first, this plays second, this plays third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth for the purposes of figuring out your synergies. I've already recycled the shop a few too many times, but I do think the explosive sword is a good idea here too because this bomb should deal a total of 6 damage after it benefits from this guy, I think. Unless it's only the first tick. If it's the first tick, it doesn't help me that much, but it should guarantee that I get the double strike while I'm dealing with the enemy if it works how I think it works inside of my head. And then we can slap an oil on it as well just to get a little bit more damage out. Our speed is getting a little bit low right now, though. So that's going to be something that we've really got to, like, plan around. I can kill you easily enough. We're a little bit light on armor at the moment, but, like, nothing really came together on this one, all right? I hyper-fixated on bombs, and unfortunately, bombs did not come down. The Swift Strike Stag attacks 3 times in a turn. I think we get OTK'd on this one, unfortunately. So bomb went out. Okay. Yep. Oh, we were so close, dude. He actually... Oh, we got him. Never mind. Okay, I don't know what interaction saved us right there, but I swear to God, I didn't think that we were going to kill him. Fair enough. Good stuff. Does this merchant have anything that's looking like super good? Spend 2 armor to gain 3 speed, 1 attack. We've got a frostbite dagger. I need to get my armor up. Oh, the rapier might be nice to have too. We get 2 additional attacks if we have more speed than the enemy, but I'd have to rebuild around speed. But we could kind of like cheese that with the featherweight helmet, though. All right, give me the featherweight helmet because that right there is going to give me extra speed at the battle start. We want that to be up there in the rotation. Okay. All right. And if I can get the money together for the rapier, I think we may be able to salvage something here. I'm gonna need a resting spot before too long, too. I didn't see how much the bear hit me for on his turn, but am I safe here? I didn't see what he hit me for. I have 2 armor. Yeah, he didn't hit me at all. I think I sacrificed armor for something. Yeah, I spent the armor for the featherweight bonus. Okay. Alright, well, let's see what we can get into our final slot real quick while I'm farming up gold, because we're kind of getting down to, like, the wire of it right now. I'm not even attacking at this point. We're just, like, instantly OTKing them at the outset of the fight. I don't want to trigger the fire before the end of the night, though. I want to avoid that. And now I have enough money to go get the rapier. And what do we have over here? Spear, shield, lance, 5 redwood roast, gain 2 freeze. Since most of my damage is actually coming, that might work. So I get 2 freeze, but I get 8 armor. The 2 freeze kind of sucks. I would rather not get the 2 freeze, but that's the way that life goes. Let's go back to the merchant. We will grab the rapier. And then we just need to find anything that's going to help us out here. So we'll focus on killing off the enemy just with bombs and stuff like that at the beginning. That allows us to still have a little bit of armor left when things fall apart. We get 2 additional strikes on that bad boy. Let's go with, on hit, convert a speed to it. Let's get the additional strike right there. And I should end up with 5 speed at the beginning, which makes me flatly faster than just about everything else. On my first turn, I should get my full bomb explosion, and I should get like 3 attacks, 4 attacks. So we should be in really good shape to have like a crazy alpha at the beginning of our fight that enemies may struggle with getting past. Unfortunately, that alpha is going to be a little bit muted because of the 2 stacks of freeze that we're getting, but I guess that's life. Show me where an oil is at. Yeah, an oil would be a good thing to pick up right now. I think an oil would be a strong play. We'll just kind of like carve our way through as many monsters as we possibly can. And we'll try to get an oil over here, but that was a long walk to go pick up this bonus. So we did burn a lot of time on our way into what the game is trying to present to us. I'll take an attack oil. It depends if the game rounds up or the game rounds down when it comes to these bonuses. Alright, I don't know what our boss is doing on this one. The Leshen. He deals 7 damage. He's got 3 speed. He's got 50 health. I'm trying to do the math in my head right now about how the turns are going to play out, because that's really how you sort of have to play this game, is with that mentality, is you've got to like iteratively step through what the game is going to try to do in your head to figure out what turn you live or die on before you get there. But at this point, I'm not sure what modifications I could actually make. On hit, deal an extra damage. That might actually help. Is there one more monster around here? Oh, I don't know if we're going to make it back. I don't think we are. Okay, well, let's just like, we'll bin that for right now. We can get double explosion. So the second time you deal non-weapon damage each turn, deal 3 more damage. That raises the damage this thing is going to deal up to really, really high capacity. I gotta like think of something that I'm willing to get rid of, though. I don't think the iron shrapnel contributes quite as much as it could, but I'm also not in a position right now where I'm trying to like vent out all my stats either. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to hope that this works, and that it comes out to be more. My brain is tired, all right? There's a lot of things in this game to keep track of for such a simple little title. But let's fight the Leshen. We'll see what we can do here. A pretty solid 12 damage opening right there. Okay, he knocked our armor down, but our bomb's going to trigger pretty shortly. Okay. We did our best, dude, but I think we're out. Yup, I think we got. That's going to be it for us. We got toasted. What did we unlock this time around? Because I saw a couple of pop-ups. We got the staggering success. Win against the Swift Strike Stag for the first time. The featherweight wings. If you have less speed than the enemy, gain attack equal to your speed. Okay, that one you've got to play kind of a dangerous game, but I see what they're going for. This one right here, the brittle bark armor. Whenever you take damage, you take 1 additional damage, but it gives you plus 12 HP. So that's pretty raw. We've also got the bombastic achievement. Time bomb. Expose, deal 1 damage. Turn start, this item gains 2 damage. Oh, really? Okay, so you want to combine this with like an armor build so that when your armor goes down, it's accumulated like 13 free damage, basically. So you want to run this guy with like an armor restoration build just in case the enemy actually managed to burn through what you're playing around with. Okay, and then we've got the hidden dagger. Get stronger for every new hidden dagger that you find. I like that. That's pretty cool. All right, I dig that. We've also got the gilded edge. On hit, if you have less than 10 gold, gain a gold. That's not bad. It's a good early game weapon, I guess. Chain reaction, so trigger 10 or more item effects at the start of a battle. We get the bomb bag. Battle start, exposed, and wounded. So when I lose all my armor and when my health gets down to 50%, and also at the beginning of the battle, it uses up 3 of my speed to trigger a random bomb in my loadout. Okay, alright, it's coming together right now. And then we've got the sword talisman. Whenever you deal non-weapon damage to the enemy, it gets an extra damage. That actually goes really well with the firecracker belt. Like, that's really solid for the firecracker belt. Okay, well, that was your first run right there of He Is Coming. I don't really have any complaints about this game. I think it's witty. I think it's addictive. I think it's fun. I think it's enjoyable. I think it's got low overhead. Your average run is basically 30 minutes if you go all the way to the end. And if you don't go all the way to the end, it can be like 10 or 11 minutes, which means that there's not that much time invested where, you know, you got to sit around and get a little bit salty about the fact that you lost. No, instead, it's just a game that you're like, all right, well, I lost. Let's get back into it. And I think that's got an appeal to it. I'll take the redwood rod, I guess, for right now because it's slightly better than what I have. I don't really want to fight a bear, but I do have 3 thorns, which means when he hits me, he should die instantly. Yeah, not perfect, but, you know, like, it's something. He Is Coming. I think this is a really, really, really good little roguelike. I actually think that it's a really solid condensation of the dopamine-chasing sort of building, synergy-building thing that so many roguelites are trying to run down nowadays. Like, that seems to be the main MO, is like, we make a game addictive by having lots of synergies, having lots of things that interact, and I think He Is Coming has that. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with He Is Coming. Tomorrow it'll be something else. Thanks for hanging out, folks.